Hello and welcome back to another Soul Osmo video. Today we're going to be going over how to defend trips tight end and why it might be so difficult for you to defend it. Once again, I used to struggle with it, but it wasn't until I found this concept in Madden 22, and it still kind of applies in Madden 23 and allows you to really defend trips tight end without having just elite man coverage or even anything else. And even with elite man coverage, trips tight end can really gash man coverage because of their plethora of calls and their ability to pick up blitzes by just play actioning. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the concept I'm going to be going over is just general match. I call it general match because you can run it out of any single play. So I'm going to call actually here spinner. Now, it doesn't really matter. I could call spinner or cover 2 man. I'm going to start in cover 2 man because I think the coverage defense is a little bit better. So I'm going to come out in man line, cover 2 man out of spinner. Now, the important part is you have match on and all of your zone drops are off and you're man aligned just like that. So I'm going to call cover 2 man, and we're going to first start with doubles and sail, which is the pinnacle of what trips players love to run. I'm going to pinch my defensive line here, which is a very quick and easy adjustment. It just is just to stop the run, so if they run base inside zone, you're here. Also hard flat, this linebacker here to stop if the running back goes on an out route, there's a drag on the field or anything like that. Now the way this concept works is you're actually just going to put a quarter on the trip side safety. You're going to put an outside quarter on the trip side corner. You're going to back him off and you're going to shade inside. Right, to back him off, it's triangle, X, square if the trips is on the left, which it usually is, and you're going to shade right. Or you can just individually shade, shade right and shade into the inside, okay? Now that's what I usually do. Or you can just press triangle and universally shade all the defenders to the inside. Either way it works. On Xbox, that would be triangle, square, or triangle, A, X, and then right stick to the right. Okay. I had to pick up my Xbox controller and translate. But that's what I would like to run. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is actually quarter this side safety too, right? Then I'm also, and I know these are a lot of adjustments, and I'm telling you, you can get them off with practice. I'll showcase how fast you can get them off. Is I'm going to individually shade Kyle Rudolph to the outside, and I'm going to individually shade Mr. Who's this? Darden, number 17. Yeah, number 17 to the inside. So shade right. Right. Those ones are kind of quality of life adjustments. If your opponent's making a lot of adjustments, especially to pick up dollar, or just when they see dollar, they'll run certain pass protection. So you'll likely have a lot of time. But let me explain what's going to happen here. So this guy here is manned up. So what I'll actually do is I'll either leave him manned up or put him in a curl flat. Probably a curl flat more often than not, because if your opponent decides to put like a flat on the field or something like that on the trip side, it plays it a lot better. So this is what the final adjustment looks like. You could double curl flat or you could double hard flat. It doesn't matter. The hard flat's just once again better for those shorter flats, and the curl flats are of course better for, they're actually better for curls or interior like hitches and stuff like that. So this is what it would look like. Now what's going to happen here is this outside quarter is going to bag Mike Evans. Whatever Mike Evans goes on, he's going to be completely covered. So that's something I can guarantee you. He goes on a C route, an in route, whatever, he's going to be covered. Now, what these two quarters are doing is they're actually covering circle here. So I don't know who's manned up on him, but it says he's manned up, but it's kind of glitched out. So this Stearns safety here is going to make sure that he matches and covers every single route that circle, the number one receiver in trips, goes to the outside. So if he's going on a corner route, an out route, Stearns will cover that. Now, if he's going on a crosser, it'll actually be Jackson here that'll cover it. So if he goes to the right, crosses the field, then Jackson will cover it. They're both responsible for circles, so they're both going to run towards him like they're in man coverage, but they play significantly better on their side of the field. So Jackson will play anything going towards him, and of course, Stearns will play anything going to the outside or towards him. Now let's call a very meta concept just doubles and sail. So you'll notice square is bagged and circle is bagged, right? So let's go over an instant replay and showcase exactly what happened on this play. So you'll notice the hard flat will cover that table route really easily. This guy is shaded inside because most routes from him are going to the inside and it's covered. This is blanketing Mike Evans here, and he's running past the hard flat. They just bumped into each other, so they're able to throw it a little bit late. The corner route's covered, and this guy actually, I was messing around with him too much. He probably got bumped. Yeah, he kind of bumped into him. He messed up a bunch of times, but I'll do the adjustments properly without fully having to explain it. But that's what happened. The more important part to focus on here is that these quarters will shut down this circle or main receiver. Since he's going to the outside, this guy will bag it. If he's going to the right side, then the other side corner will bag it. So I'm going to actually set up the coverage one more time. So press, on controller, press, back off, quarter, shade outside, individually shade inside, done, right? You can also hard flat these guys. You can leave them end up or you can hard flat them. It's up to you. I like to hard flat if you have the time. You won't always have the time. And if you really have time, you can back this guy off too. Now, these adjustments look crazy, but I promise they're amazing. So let's run doubles and sail one more time. Hopefully they don't bump into each other. I'm going to try to throw that, and it's covered. They both dropped the pick. So you'll notice that'll shut down things like doubles and sail. Now I'm going to run counter go. So I actually don't have counter go. Oh yeah, I do. Here we are. Here's counter go, and I'm going to run the very basic concept that everyone likes running, which is just the in flat crosser streak. And when you're playing this, you do the exact same concept. Right here, I would recommend if you think they're going to run counter go curl flats, because I think playing to the inside of the field is important because things are going over the middle. I'm going to do the exact same concept here. So there's the coverage. You don't have to do many adjustments with it. The extra adjustments are just kind of quality of life stuff, so you don't have to worry about certain things, but you don't have to do it at all. So here we are. I'm going to try to throw circle. I actually got screamed at by send 3, which does happen. Your send 3 might actually just scream at them. I've noticed sometimes you'll get a disengage from the defensive tackle here, but you'll note the important thing to notice here is that this wide receiver on the in is blanketed, and this crosser is also blanketed. So it completely shuts down PA counter go, right? So those are kind of the main concepts. Let's go over PA slot corner. Now, we have an inside, an outside, and a flat. So if they just run this stock, which a lot of people do, you can run the exact same defense, shade inside, and then individually shade outside if you have the time, which you will, and the defense looks like that. Same kind of with the curl flats there, because I think things are going over the middle more. Just doubles and sail, it's very outside, right? I'm going to spy him so we don't get screamed at. And you'll notice circle is pretty covered. You might be able to sneak it over him, but still very dangerous to do, especially with those high zone coverage corners in MUT. There's possibly when they release acros, this could be even more difficult. But you'll notice that this guy bumps into this guy, but he would be bagged. These two match this guy. These two match Darden here. Not Darden. Is this Darden? I think it's Darden. Yeah, these two match Darden. This guy will cover Gage, and this tight end is bagged. So that's the coverage concept. You can also run it out of spinner. I'm just going to really quickly showcase how you can run it out of spinner and still have that really good blitz, which I like to do more often than the cover 2-man setup, but I think cover 2-man helps illustrate the defense better. So here's spinner. So you make sure you run it man aligned, and if you watched my spinner video, you'll notice that you got to click onto this guy and bring him. Make sure when you press that you've touched him already, I should say. I started through that, geez. Now it's the same concept, so I'm just going to back off this guy and quarter him and put on this quarter here too, right? So what I really like about this, though, is you still have this really good blitz, and you just have to tell yourself that if this is Darden. Yes, number 1 is Darden. Darden goes on anything over the middle. That's what your user is responsible for. The running back will be covered by the hard flat because it's usually going to the outside. But if you're worried about him going to the inside, you could man him up. But this blitz is so good, you wouldn't have to really worry. So let's just go over. They wouldn't really have much time for an in route is what I should have said. Let's see what happens when I run something like slot corner again, right? So they go to run it. The play action barely picks it up. This is completely covered. everything on the field was covered. I'll go over it on instant replay. And you have this amazing blitz kind of helping you out. So we have the corner route that's covered. We have this corner route covered. This flat should have been blanketed, but if they did throw it, I'm surprised the drag played a little bit better than the in. That's what happened. He got bumped. Nice. And they could throw it for like maybe 2 yards, 2-3 yards. And this guy's covered pretty well, pretty blanketed. So that's kind of the coverage concept, utilizing the 2 quarters or the single quarter to how you want to play defense. It's very adaptable. It's a very hybrid defense. And it's really, really effective against trips, especially when you don't have those top-notch corners and you can't depend on your man coverage or your opponent is gashing your man coverage. That pretty much, without further ado, completes the video. I don't think without further ado is the phrase there. But that completes the video on how the coverage works against trips. I highly recommend you try it out. Get in the lab, just see how it plays out. Maybe find your own adjustments versus trips that you really like. But those something are a baseline that you can mix in really easily. As you can see during the video, I was kind of, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you know, because it's so adaptable. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video. You'll love it. It'll help me. If you loved it, of course, leave a like. It'll help me a ton. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the sub, because I just drop bangers and you know it. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching the video.